Just a few items of business before we jump on into it. It has been 2 months since our last live stream, and boy, I don't know about you guys, but I think I needed the break. We were going hard and strong and long, so we have decided to ease up the pace and do every other week instead of every week. So we will be starting every other Saturday at 1:30, and ending at 5 p.m. And if you hop on around 1, you might see us doing some like live testing and stuff because I'm still figuring out how to use this thing. If you want to hop on and laugh at my technological incompetence, you are welcome to do so. I'm sure it's an entertaining time. Let's see, other notes. Okay, so I should probably let you know the next let me hop on my Google Calendar. The next date, I want to say address, the next date. So not the 25th, the 2nd. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the 2nd of October, I'll put that on my calendar now. At 1:30 p.m. will be the company of the Fallen Leaf on Contested Entertainment. Or should I call it Contested Entertainment and the Company of the Fallen Leaf? That one sounds a little bit better. I don't know. We'll workshop that. I'm just going to put the Company of the Fallen Leaf right now.
Sounds good.
And for those of you out there aspiring to start your own Dungeons and Dragons games, I don't know if I should recommend a hiatus on a game or not. This is the first time I've done it, and this is also the first time that I've come back to it. My fear of doing any sort of long-term hiatus is that you won't come back to the game. I actually have dropped my other game. I was running 2 games. I was running another game with another adventuring company called 50% Upfront, and I have decided to drop that because there's just too damn much that I am trying to do, and I can't do it all.
Hurrah to that. Let's go. We made it, boys. We're still in it.
We made the cut.
Hey!
We made the cut.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta simplify things and make it easier for yourself. Okay, any other items?
I still want the crossover, though.
Huh?
I still want the crossover arc.
Yeah, we might be able to do a crossover or like a big get together. I'm still planning on playing with them occasionally because I like them. So one of the things that I've mentioned to you guys, but I haven't mentioned live yet, is that in the future we're going to be doing charity fundraising events. And I'm actually thinking about doing this for I think it's called the Project for Malaria Foundation. I've been doing a lot of research.
So, Jordan, how's your dog?
I'm sure.
Space.
Oh,
He's back.
Absolutely lovely. Thoroughly enjoying the new place, and is currently laying on the laminate floor because it's cool.
There we go. That's what you like to hear.
Yeah, how's the muscle mass building to become the strongest human being next to the mountain?
It's going okay. It's going pretty good. Hit some good numbers lately. Can't ask for much more.
What are the numbers
you're cultivating that? I hit. So I just got out. I hit. So I did 500 for 3 on squats the other day before I got sick. And then I hit a 415 on bench the other day.
Wow.
Yeah, still only hovered around 5 on deadlift. Trying to improve. We're getting there, but not quite yet. I had to change some stuff up, so.
So basically, your dream is to become every campaign's Travis Willingham.
Yeah. Yes. That is my dream, actually.
All right. Yeah, so maybe I was talking a little bit too long. Let's go ahead and do a recap of the campaign. Let's see what you guys remember. Let's see what I remember. It's been 2 months. We probably don't remember a lot.
So where we last left off, we were level 6 and just promoted the start of the stream to level 7.
That's true. And then we dialed it back.
We met in a tavern. It's the
Yes.
first place we met.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to start from the very beginning?
Yeah, okay, so I remember you guys said something about you defeated a frost giant, which was cool.
Yep.
A large.
Pretty sure we were on our way to East Haven to get ready, or something about going. We were on our way to some island to go rescue Divine.
Yes, that is correct.
And stop him from simping over the Frost Maiden.
We departed from the Goliath camp after they refused our help. We encountered a large, gray-skinned giant riding atop of a mammoth. After we slew him, we decided we'd continue to East Haven to speak with a contact who was close with Divine. I believe his name was Rold. What was his name again? Ronaldo. So we spoke with Ronaldo. He said that he heard rumors that Divine was heading to the Isle of the Frost Maiden, and that's where we left off.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and start there. Let's see here. Probably should have opened this ahead of time. So you guys are having dinner with Ronaldo at in
I believe East Haven. I believe he's the speaker now. He was appointed speaker of East Haven.
Yeah. Well, I need to figure out which building it is, because some of the buildings in East Haven got destroyed by that dragon. So...
Yeah, that dragon that Divine killed and took the core out of.
So let's say you're in the tavern of East Haven, which is called something, and because I don't remember, and it's being rebuilt. So it's not like super decorated, but it's providing shelter. There's a fire. There are some chairs. The walls are think. If you have ever walked into a place that is sort of being built, the wood is kind of a light tan color. It's pretty fresh wood. It hasn't been painted. This is obviously a new place that they're still working on, but it can serve the function for the time being, so they're continuing to use it. And you're speaking with Ronaldo about how to get to the island, and just a few things. Let's see. Desir.
Yes.
You
It is I.
hear kind of a static and a not alloyed down. Side crystal needed. Send help immediately. This is something you've been hearing for a while now. Sometimes you've been disconnecting from your psi crystal and reconnecting every once in a while, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And also,
your puppy photo.
and then also, there's something about this that triggers the memory of the Dark Duchess, the ship that crashed, that you sailed in on and crashed. You were maybe the sole survivor of.
Desir,
Yeah.
are you listening to me? I'm saying we need to make preparations. We're gonna need a captain, and we're gonna need equipment. If we're gonna go to the Isle of Frostmaiden, we must be prepared.
I absolutely agree. This is our utmost priority. And I will, again, disconnect from the psi crystal. Because it's not our priority right now. I would put Divine as our utmost priority for as of right now, and then, maybe bring that up later. But as for now, I wouldn't put it as a priority. Yeah, absolutely, we do need supplies. This is why we came to East Haven, right? After.
Yes, Master Dale, have you ever been on a ship before?
Oh, yeah. I've been on a ship. What was his voice? Crap. It's been a break.
That sounds pretty good. I mean, I like
That's a good
He
voice.
sounds pretty close.
That's, I've been on a ship coming up north here, and, I've traveled around on vehicles in order to get to places. But no, I've never, been a pirate. It's always been a dream.
Really? That's your dream? You created
Oh, yeah,
probably
a
the
lot of
best
dreams.
construct anybody's ever seen, and you want to be a pirate?
Who doesn't want to be a pirate when they were a kid?
Me.
Shit.
That explains a lot. But, so yes, supplies, I think, would definitely be an admirable idea for us. Yeah, well thought.
I mean, we have the resources.
Well, if we have the resources, then we wouldn't need supplies, but I like the idea of getting the resources, so we'll then have the resources.
I mean, we have gold, we have the liquid.
Just
assets.
then, a woman enters the room, and Ronaldo motions for her to come over. She's about 5 feet 9 inches tall. She's an older woman, perhaps in her late 40s, early 50s. She has short,
So a younger
white.
woman.
She has short white hair. She's female, female. She's a human, and she has an eye patch.
Is she cute?
Well, you know what? Considering you're in your 40s, yes.
This is why I ask.
Is she cute considering I'm in my 60s?
Also, yes.
Ooh.
Greetings and salutations, Master Dale of Neverwinter at your service.
I will say that she has a bad case of resting bitch face, though.
Is it the eye patch that's doing it?
It could be the eye patch. I'm trying to find a
How do
picture
you do?
of her. I'm sure I saw one somewhere, but I don't know where it's at now. Maybe I have it in my documents. Let me check real quick.
Pleasure.
She says, hello, Ronaldo. Are these the gentlemen you were telling me about? He gets up from his chair, and most people, when they stand up from their chair, they get taller, but he actually gets shorter. because he's a halfling. The chair was giving him some extra height. But he affords her a gentlemanly bow and says, "Yes, my lady, these are the ones." And she says, well, not too shabby. So, Ronaldo tells me you guys are seeking to go to the Island of Solstice to retrieve your friend.
Indeed we are.
Yes.
I also am going to the Island of Solstice to retrieve something.
What a happy coincidence.
Yes, well, two things actually. You see, I had a device called a Professor Orb, which was stolen from me by a colleague, no less. And I hear that colleague crashed on the island. It's unlikely that she survived, and if I could recover my family heirloom, that would be wonderful. And also, I don't know if you know this, but have you guys heard of the city of Ythrin?
City of what?
Intelligence check? Or history?
Ythrin. For you, yeah, history. Go ahead, do it.
Nope. I have not, my lady.
Anybody else want to make a history check?
I rolled a 13.
I can't say I've heard of that.
You need a 20. Let's see here. She says, well, the city of Ythrin was a part of the Netherese Empire, one of its grand floating cities. Have you guys heard of the Netherese Empire?
Oh, yes. The floating city, of course. I knew that.
So, does it float in the sky or in the water?
It floats in the sky.
Oh,
The sky, obviously.
no.
Do we make a check to know
my-
if we know about Netherese? What's the check on that?
Yeah, sure. That would be another history check.
$17, not a 20.
You only need a 15 for this one. This one's is something you've probably heard of. If you
make it.
if you spend any time in a library, you've probably come across the name of this empire.
Yes, I got a 17 and Winnie got a 15.
Yeah, so you guys.
Yes,
have
I did have a tutor. I did have a tutor who mentioned that.
Yeah, and Desir obviously doesn't know anything.
Nah. My magic comes from my bloodline.
I'm sure I've read it before, but I haven't cared enough to remember.
Yeah, so you guys remember that the Netherese Empire, it's a human empire, one of the earliest, and they used powerful magic from the old Elven society, and something called the Nether Scrolls, and they were able to shear mountaintops and elevate cities into the sky using powerful magic. And
From what I remember, maybe the Netherese should stay forgotten.
Oh, it sounds epic. Cool magic. I'm sure Dale would also want to learn more magic.
Yes.
Well, yeah, yes, of course.
So, seeing that you guys have heard, she, well, let's say that you guys give that sort of history, and she says, yes, that's precisely right. And furthermore, the way that they elevated these cities is with by using powerful magical items called mythalars. And the city of Ythrin is thought to have fallen at the fall of Nithril here in the Dale and landed in the area that is now covered by the Reghead Glacier. And there is a passage, it is said, that can lead down into the city of Ythrin, where we may access the Mythalar. However, this passageway is blocked by a frozen waterfall, and the only way through is to break the spell that the Frost Maiden has placed over it. We need to get the codicil of white and recite the rhyme of the Frost Maiden in front of the waterfall in order for it to grant us entry. I promise you that there are many splendid and wonderful treasures and magic items to be found in that city. If you will accompany me, it's yours for the taking.
Excuse my curtness, miss, but what does this have to do with you getting us to the Isle?
Well, it is thought that the Codicil of White is in Auril's fortress. It's an item created by her, and it's a magical book of spells and poems and such. So in order to get into the city of Ythrin, I must first dare to venture into the lair of the frozen goddess and take her book.
So we just casually steal from the Frostmaiden.
In Winifred, in your head, you hear me send you a message. You're a much more insightful individual than I am. Could you maybe see if she's hiding anything? I think she's leaving something out.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, 21, dang. Yeah, let's see.
So tell me, lady, you want us to accompany you? What benefits you here? Are you going to take these items, or I don't suggest you just go to the Frost Isle for no reason.
Well, I have been charged by my order to collect the Mythalar. Well, hold on. Let me. Actually, I haven't read this. I'm just gonna make it up. I desire to be a well-known wizard, and getting the Mythalar and studying the Mythalar would advance the magics and gain great renown. She does seem... So, you have a 21 insight, so there... You don't feel super comfortable. You don't feel super comfortable.
I tell you what, you get us to the Isle.
Hello?
Wait, did you hear me?
Yeah, okay, now I hear you. You said, I'll tell you what, you get us to the Isle.
I'll tell you what, you get us to the Isle, and we'll talk after we get there. You'll have my word, if you get us there and help us reclaim our friend, we'll help you reclaim your family's artifact. Let's excuse my hoarse voice, I picked up a cold while we were traveling.
Yeah. She says, good, it's a deal. Although, I think perhaps you need a few more things to go and take on this challenge of recovering my stuff and also recovering your friend. I have heard that the oh my god, the what's it fucking called? The Auril's Island is a very dangerous place. Also, I have heard of a trading vessel that crashed recently, and there are rumors that a great white dragon has been using it as a place to store its hoard. And there are many wondrous things that a white dragon like that might possess that could potentially aid us on our journey.
Are you suggesting you don't have a boat?
Yeah, are you saying you don't have a boat? Is this what this is about?
I without being rude, what I'm suggesting is, I think you guys are not totally ready to go to the island yet, but if you go and collect a few more items that might help us, then perhaps you will be ready. And while you are out doing that, I will research a way to get to the island.
By research a way, do you mean you're going to try to get a boat, or we're busy? If you don't have a boat, you can just say that. We can help you get a boat.
It's true. I don't have a boat.
All right, there it is. There it is. Yep, we all saw it. You could have just said that. You're really not starting. You're really not starting the trust off correctly by not just telling us you don't.
So, okay, but guys, at least she's got an eye patch. Maybe she's got that part qualified. She's got the look for the job.
It is selling it for me. The eye patch is really selling it for me. All right, we'll get a boat. We'll go do that. You know, we'll reclaim the boat, I guess. What do you guys think? Think we should?
Where did you say the boat was with the dragon?
Yes. So let's pull up our handy dandy map here.
Ronaldo, does she know how to sail a boat? How do you know her?
I know how to sail a boat.
So Ronaldo says, I don't really know if she knows how to sail a boat, but we've been friends for a short time. Not very long, but she seems to know a thing or two about a thing or two.
I feel so reassured by that. Master Dale, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty simple situation. To get to the island, one must need a boat. And to get a boat, one must go to a place where they fish. And to go to a place where they fish, we'll give them something for a boat, and then we'll get the boat and bring it back. And, I mean, we're on lake towns. It's not like it's hard to find someone who can captain it over there.
That's true. So you say we don't really need the eye patch lady?
Well, that... hold on one second. Let me look at myself.
If I can chip in, I know how to sail a boat. I've had some experience with sailing.
What level of what do you call it? I'm not well versed in the arts. What level of mage would you say she is? Just by looking at her.
Just by looking at her, she looks like.
You could make an Arcana check.
Yeah, I got a 16.
I don't know.
Let's see, character sheets. Maybe I can just type it in here. I wonder if she's a creature. Let me see.
I don't know. I'm whispering now to the group. I'm like, I don't know. She gave me kind of like weird vibe. Like she might try to betray us on the aisle.
Is it because she only has one eye?
Yeah, I couldn't look her in both of her
if
eyes.
she does that, we could do like the one eye for one eye, and she would go blind.
Well, I mean, good for her. Good for her. She figured out a way to get what she needs from other people to do the fighting for her, which is smart. In return, they get something, by they, I mean we get something that we need. It's very wise.
You just find her attractive.
I look over to him and I say, well, when you get to be my age, you get lonely and your standards become, well, they say yes. Goodness knows I've used enough magical aids to get me happy in my time.
I swear, in my time in the north, we've just been surrounded by nothing but shady characters who want us to get something so they can barely help us and then betray us.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah. So,
Can
Arcana 16. Here, I'm gonna save this image as well because I found it. Arcana 16. You get the sense that she has some magical ability, and perhaps it might be a bit more than average, but you think maybe you've already fought somebody stronger than her.
I think.
wait, before we continue to see, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Do you folks mind if we step into a separate room to have a discussion?
Huh? Are you talking to her?
I'm talking to her and the halfling. We gotta figure out the best plan for everyone, and we think it's best done in the confines of a non-crowded room.
Are you gonna hocus pocus your magic room?
I was planning on just walking into another room.
Oh, okay.
Ronaldo looks at Velen. Velen looks at Ronaldo. Velen says, "Yes, of course. I hope
you, my
come
lady.
back with good news."
Of course, my lady, we all hope for good. Alright, so, Desir, you were walking into another room. Desir, as you were saying, I'm so sorry to interrupt, I just felt we shouldn't be overheard.
I mean, the general gist I get is that she's kind of shady. She knows some bit of magic, but probably not as much as us. So she looks like somebody who's going to be basically using us to get what she wants. And she doesn't seem more qualified in doing these things more than we are.
I have added that picture.
Oh, and she's got an owl too. But she is kind of cute. So,
What?
Winifred, what do you think?
I feel that our lives are full of misfortune, and somehow we are having dinner with a speaker, and we're planning on sailing to the Isle, and then a mysterious lady with an eye patch comes in and says, "You know, I'll help you." Why is this always like this for us? As soon as we get Divine off the Isle, I am going home.
It's almost like there's some sort of supernatural being moving things in the background.
I have an idea. We might need her help, and we might want the goods that we can procure. But I agree we cannot trust her. So, I propose we accept her offer, but she gives us collateral. While we're talking, I'm going to say, look,
We're going to have this conversation, probably take about 10 minutes. And I'm going to cast Detect Magic, ritually. Then we go back into the room. I'll see what magic items she has on her. She can give it to us, and then upon completion, she can have it back.
Yes,
This way, we have something of hers to ensure that we get what we want, and we return it once she gets what she wants.
I just find it so strange that the halfling says he's known her for like 5 days, and she comes in and she's like, "Oh, hey, I've heard about like what's going on here."
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Then she starts getting iPads on. Go ahead.
I think we should. She suggested to us that we're not ready and that we're unprepared, and she sent us to go to a ship where there's a dragon. What I propose is that we have her come with us to test her character out.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Give us a chance to get closer to her and maybe figure out like what she truly wants, and we'll get a better feel for her character. I can see Mr. Dale over here. Wink, wink. Maybe it's a chance to get close to him. So
you knew what I was laughing at. You knew what I was laughing at.
So maybe the whole story about the Isle is we brought the Isle up. Maybe that's all bullshit. Maybe she wants us to go to the ship, let the dragon eat us, and then she just takes all our stuff.
Yeah, Well, this is why it might be.
Also,
I think we should.
She didn't offer to go to the ship with you. She was.
I know. That's why I'm saying
also,
we should have her.
Yeah, and one more thing. I've got the map open. And I got you guys on the Icewind Dale map, so you can see East Haven. Sort of here. I'll circle it.
Yep.
And also, there's like this green box over here in the far left. That's where that's where
my OG ship.
Yep, that's where she says the ship is.
Oh, so this is my spot. This is the same ship we're talking about, the Dark Duchess.
Yes.
Okay.
So is Desir gonna want us to go to the Dark Duchess?
I have no qualms against it. I just there might be some memories of my old comrades and what occurred that might resurface.
For good or for ill?
It might be a chance for me to like if we go in with the proper supplies, it might be my chance to give them a proper burial of sorts, because I didn't get the chance to when I last saw them.
Sure, I can understand wanting that, and I think it's a reasonable thing to ask and for us to do, and we can all help each other. And I think it'd be great for you to get some closure, and I'd be happy to help on just one thing I'm curious about.
Yeah?
What's my name?
Dale?
Master Dale, if you please.
Oh, well, we gotta keep that banter between us, right?
Quick question from a practical standpoint. How are we assured we can even fight the dragon anymore? We lost, we gained Master Dale. But if you remember how the last dragon fight went, I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't do anything. I'm not going to say Desir didn't do anything. I'm just going to say Divine seemed like he had a big part of it.
Well, who do you think taught Divine?
Yeah, have some faith. Winifred, have some faith in Dale. I think Dale can.
The student has not become the master.
I'm just saying dragons are scary.
I don't know. I think they can, sometimes be giant gas bags, but, win in Neverwinter. I mean, win in wherever the hell we are.
He has dementia.
Huh?
There's also the possibility of being able to negotiate with them, right? Like, we don't necessarily have to fight. We could, dragons are treasure hoarders. Maybe we could potentially, do.
Hello? I have one. I just didn't bring it.
Do you know any shortcuts
Here we go. I'm back.
to the Sea of Moving Ice?
For whatever reason,
I
my
don't think
voice
we ever got her
connection
name.
has one bar.
Velen?
Velen?
What is her name?
Velen Harpel. I just realized her name
Yeah,
just
you're
kind of
lagging a
sounds like
little
villain. Wonder if that's foreshadowing.
Did you put that in chat?
What?
Alright, Miss Harpel.
Alright, so what did you guys decide?
I don't know. Velen is looking pretty battle hardened and smart.
So you're gonna...
Do you know any way for us?
What?
I wanted to ask her if she knew any ways for us to quickly get to the Sea of Moving Ice.
Oh! Are you, have you left the room and you're talking to her now?
I opened the door. I cracked the door and I said, "Hey, Velen, do you know any shortcuts to the Sea of Moving Ice?"
Well, I've heard tell of two different ways. One is quite expensive and a little dangerous. We could go to the prison on the shore. Sometimes there are, every once in a while, every 6 months or so, a ship will come by with prisoners to drop them off, we could pay the ship to curry us from the prison to the island. It will be an expensive voyage because
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're
you know,
saying. You're lagging really bad.
yeah, there's something going on with my internet. All right, let me see what I can do to fix this. I know what I can do. Give me just a second. So I would like to plug in an Ethernet cable, but I don't have one long enough. Oh, the stream is disconnected as well. Shit. Are we... It's got to be my internet connection. Ah! I'm connected. Okay, we are live again. I gotta check the sound again. Gotta refresh that because Twitch has got to catch up with what's going on. All right. Okay, somebody make a noise.
Wow.
Hello.
All right, we're good.
So, in your semi-absence, we decided that because of this year's past with it, and because it's probably the largest and most seaworthy ship that we can think of, we want to go to the Dark Duchess and try to reclaim it.
Okay.
But we want to try to convince Velen that she should go with us.
All right. Oh man, I'm trying to focus on what to do here. Give me just a second. Do a Shift Alt stretch. There we go. Shift Alt stretch. Yeah. Sure, that's good. My screen looks like such shit. I really need to work on my setup. All right. So, oh, I guess I could probably turn on my video for you guys as well. Oh no, I guess I can't. It really doesn't like to do that. I'll have to figure that out later. So I am in my living room now, just so as you know, and it's not the best. Well, it's actually my parents' living room. It's not the best place to be. I was in this sort of bedroom / office that they have. It's really just a spare bedroom. My mom uses it for office things sometimes. That's really the best place to do it because I can be in a closed room where no one's going to bother me. Out here in the living room, which is a common area, I am essentially asking people to bother me. So if people bother me, then, you know, that's why. Sorry.
If it's any of reassurance, I'm also in a common room, so...
And if it makes you feel any better, I'm also in a living room.
Well, all right.
But then again, I'm the only one that lives here. But still, it's a common room.
Now your dog can bother you.
Okay, so
He doesn't bother.
let's get back into it. You guys are going to try and go convince Velen to come with you to the Dark Duchess.
Yes. Could you type out the name in the general chat?
Sure. Give me...
Or you might as well just reply to the image, just so it's like...
Give me un momento. I actually prefer to do a copy-paste rather than a type. I'm gonna fix this screen. So one thing that I've decided to do is I've decided to work for 2 hours on D&D stuff every day of every week that we have a D&D thing, and then 2 hours on esports stuff on the off weeks. So if I do that, then hopefully the quality of everything that I do will increase. Oh, you want me to reply to the image? I can do that.
That's okay. I can,
Oh, hey, there we go.
that way it just links to the image, that way it's easier to remember.
Yeah. Velen Harpel. Right. So, you guys open up the door and you walk out and you say,
What's cooking, good looking? We found a plan that would benefit all of us. So we hear you in your suggestion that we should go get the Dark Duchess and go see that wonderful dragon. The thing is that to be quite fair, we've just met you and we don't really know who like, you know, what's your character like and stuff, and we'll be going on this journey where our lives will end on each other. So I think it's only fair that you should come with us to the dragon. You've said yourself to be want to, right? So, in doing so, I think it would be beneficial for yourself to come with us so we could, exchange pleasantries and, kind of develop some bond in conflict. When we go to the ship.
Yes, I can certainly see the value of that, especially if we'll be going down into the city of Ether. Who knows what sort of things may lurk there? It's a incredibly magically saturated place, and I wouldn't be surprised to run into more than a few oddities. One thing, though, I'm willing to help you on this journey under one condition. I am not in the mood to throw my life away willy-nilly, so if we get there and the dragon is there, I suggest instead of running headlong into the ship, we wait until the dragon leaves. I have no desire to fight an ancient worm.
Okay. Quick question. What if the dragon doesn't leave?
We just keep waiting. It'll leave sometime.
Okay. Well, but what if it doesn't? What if it just had it's like had like a whale of a meal, and it's just like chilling on the boat for like, I don't know how fast a dragon's metabolism is, but considering that it's pretty cold out, they probably don't have to regulate their body heat as much. It's probably likely a frost dragon too, so
yes. Dragons are known to slumber for centuries. It could be sleeping. If that's the case, we'll just have to be quiet.
Okay. Works for me. What about you guys?
Yeah,
I just really hope that the dragon's not there.
I mean, let's be honest,
crossed.
entering the ship and taking stuff's a lot easier to do when the dragon isn't there. But gosh, this sounds familiar. Is there a side door? Do we need to wait for a thrush?
Hard to say. We'll know when we get there, I suppose.
Very well. Let us do the thing to which we are doing.
Let's do it to it.
Yeah, I propose that we should pack up on supplies and
Yeah.
depart tomorrow morning. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's take a moment to have a quick look at your supplies. You might be fine. I think you're probably fine.
I think we are probably fine. I'm just saying this as a, because she might not have been expecting that proposition. So
True.
Potions of healing.
Let's see. In our handy haversack, who's carrying that, by the way?
Might be me.
So, by the way, this is essentially a battle item, right? You can use it. I think you can use a single action to draw something from the handy haversack. It might even be a bonus action. I'd have to look. Something like
I would assume it'd be like because I know I had the bag of little furry creatures, right?
Yeah.
And so it might be somewhat similar to that, where it's like one action to pull something out.
Yeah, you know what? Let me just take a little minute to find out. I kind of want to know. Let's see. This would be under equipment, I think. Actually, it might be under the character who has it. That was Desir, right?
Yes. We have a paper wasp nest that's been cured. We have
I forgot about that.
26 rations. I'm pretty sure on D&D Beyond there's this sled as well that might have some items there.
Hey,
$500 for using my internet in the house.
but
Cash.
but it pooped,
Cash.
so that means we should like reduce the price.
You what?
It stopped working for a moment, so we should reduce the price by a bit.
$700, because now you fucked it up.
There's no way to win that.
That's my papa. Let's see here. Would be an inventory. I also have this. You can't see it. It's cute though. It's a tiny dog. Who's your cute dog? You are. You are. Oh my god. Kisses. Yuck. Handy haversack.
We have a paper wasp nest. I don't think we have any. We don't have any actual potions. I have one in my inventory.
You said you have the sack?
What?
Mm-hmm. The only healing item we have is the paper wasp nest.
Yeah. And you also have, what's his face? Clanger.
Yeah, but yeah.
So I bought him a healer's pack, which has 10 uses of healing.
Clinger's always being a bro.
And really, it doesn't, like, give you HP, but if you fall to 0, he can make it so you stop dying.
Mm-hmm. Only in emergency scenarios, really.
Let's see. Retrieving an item from the haversack requires you to use an action. When you reach into the haversack for a specific item, the item is always magically on top. So unlike a bag of holding, where you would have to rummage through it. So yeah, inside the handy haversack, I think, Desir, did you already read off that stuff?
Yeah, so basically only healing item we have is paper. And other relevant gear includes 52 pounds of rations.
Yeah.
So we have 26 rations in there. We have smith tools, tinker tools, torches, water skins. We got wine jugs. We got drinking horns. Got manacles, iron pots. So a bunch of stuff.
How many days do you think it'll be?
Well, let's see.
We'll be traveling on the road all the way to Bremen, probably, and then go off-road on the wastes.
Gotta grab this tool somehow. No snapping. So from here to about there, 20 hours. And then, so about, that's 13, 20, 33 miles. And you guys are on sleds pulled by axe beaks.
Mm-hmm.
Rules of module. Overland travel. Dog sled. So it's going to take approximately 33 hours of travel.
Okay.
We also have 7 axe beaks feeds, and another 15 rations in one of the carts. At least my cart. I've been keeping track of what's in.
So you guys will probably travel for like 12 hours a day, taking breaks for lunch and dinner and
Yep, no
breakfast.
big deal.
So we'll just say it takes about 3 days. That's a rough estimate of what it would be, and also 3 nights, and then you should probably account for travel back if that's required.
I think we're good. Like, by a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I don't quite understand why Create Food and Water is not available for wizards and wizards and sorcerers.
I think it's available for.
Clerics, paladins, artificers, Circle of the Land, and then Genie.
I want healing potions.
I think that's fair.
You can certainly try to find some. So let me tell you what Klinger has. Inventory. No healing potions. He does have the healer's kit, which can be used to stabilize a creature that has 0 hit points with a successful medicine check. And I need to adjust his level because I increased his level earlier. So let me just bump him down a bit.
I feel like, I mean, we're going to be stopping in some towns on the way, right?
That's true.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
I'll just try to pick some up on the way. Like, every town I go, we stop in for a night. I'll try to talk to somebody we know in town, get healing potions. I feel like going to, Dragon Lair. Don't want to die. Probably need healing potions.
So, Klinger has Cure Wounds, 3 potential uses of that. But also he has Fairy Fire and Hunter's Mark, which are great in battle, so... Yeah, you gotta decide how to use them. How to use those limited slots. Alright, so you're gonna try to find some healing potions. I imagine you guys are sort of talking about this at the table and you're sort of discussing. Ronaldo pipes up. Well, the apothecary. Why don't you go see the apothecary? He might have something cooked up.
What do you guys think is better, using slow on a creature or giving our fighter haste?
I already have haste. I can twin it. So that's where
So
I
if you
stand.
twin haste, then I can put on slow.
Yeah, that would kind of be that would be impressive.
What does slow do again?
It means a creature can only use their action. They can't use a bonus action or reaction.
Can they move?
Which means you can hit it, get out of range, and then when it comes back into your range, you have Polar Master, or what weapon feat do you have?
I have Crusher.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I'm not Polar Master Sentinel hyper build. I'm just like, yeah, that is a good build though. That build's sick.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's good to have a, team battle plan though.
It's still useful though. If you slow it and then we like triangulate it, it has to walk out of somebody's attack range to hit somebody else.
Well, because I'm fast and, harder to hit, in that because I'm mobile with a Blade Singer speed of 50 feet, I walk into someone's range, hit them, leave their range.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or I just keep my Shadow Blade up.
Also the strategy.
Yes. Well, I'll be honest, I kind of want to fight the dragon.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
All right.
No plan ever goes as planned.
I have a question for you, Daniel. How much do magic items generally cost again?
A lot. They cost a lot. So I think it's like a base of 4,000. I'd have to look it up. I have it saved somewhere. But it's based off of like their rarity. It's like a certain amount times their rarity. There's a table for it. Why do you ask?
I'd like to get some Boots of Winterland. I know I had delegated some responsibilities to Billy Joe back in Goodmead to run my business, and so I was hoping money to Billy Joe so he could maybe ask around to see if he if there's any leads or whatever to get the boots, so that once we're done this, I can maybe go back to Goodmead and pick up the boots or whatever.
That is true.
And I won't pray for the fence, even though I can't afford them.
Well, I have like 3k gold. So I don't know if that's a good amount.
It's enough to buy something. I don't know if it's what you want. Let me take a peek here, see if I can find it in my Evernote, because that's where I would have had it saved.
That's what I'm uniquely looking for. It's Boots of Frost Resistance, since
Alright.
gonna go fight the Frost Queen.
In the old days, they would just have like the cost of the item listed under there, and now they don't do that. They have it like under a table, and you have to like figure it out. It's all dumb. All dumb. So let's see here. Home. I need to find my notes. Bookmarks. Dungeons and Dragons. Magic item pricing table. Hey, that was easy. Okay, so what's the item again?
Boots of the Winterlands. It's an uncommon.
Uncommon. Okay, so it'd be 1d6 times 100 GP, depending on the one that you find. Okay. So go ahead and make that be history or arcana? I think that would be history. Make a history check and see if you can hazard a guess at the price of the Boots of Winter, was it?
14.
Okay. 14. Okay. So if you had to hazard a guess, let's see, 3d6 times 100. It would be anywhere between, well, it's 1d6 times 100. Huh. Yeah, okay, so if you had to hazard a guess, you'd say it would be anywhere between like 50 and 100 and 800 gold, somewhere in there. It depends on the age of the boots, the make and style of the boots, who made them, where they come from, what they're made of, all of that stuff can vary the price, and you probably won't know the cost of them until you see them.
All right, I'll during the art prep period, I send a letter to Goodmead with I'd have to send a letter and a request. I assume there are banks in East Haven, right? It is the commerce.
Yeah, there are definitely some banks there.
So I assume I can arrange because when you're carrying, like I'm planning on sending 1.5k gold. So I assume that's not something that you like can fit into a letter.
No, definitely not. You would need like
logistically speaking.
a satchel.
So I assume I could arrange so that there could be a shipment sent with protection, of course, to good mean to arrange for my contact Billy Joe to organize to find those boots for me.
Yeah,
and with
absolutely.
1.5k, that should be plenty enough to pay for the shipment to get it to good meat, and probably for the time it takes to like find the boots or whatever. And if it is at around 800, it should be, I should have some money left over anyway.
Right. Well, let's take a look at the downtime things, because so that's just the base price of buying the boots. So you're gonna pay for your guy to try and find somebody who has them, which is gonna be some time.
As town speaker, I'd write in my letter that as town speaker, you could probably have that message go out to many of the citizens and compensate them on their behalf, so that instead of paying 25 gold for yourself to go do all of that, you could just have a reward up of like maybe like 50 gold for a citizen that finds the lead on the boots.
It's pretty smart.
That way,
Pretty smart,
you don't have to
actually.
spend multiple weeks worth of gold to find those boots yourself.
Let's see. So downtime. I forgot how. It's been so long since I've navigated this site. I forgot how to do it. Okay, I'm looking for Xanathar's Guide. And down. Nope, that's Tasha's. Here's Xanathar. And downtime. Buying magic items. Here we go. Let's see. Purchasing a magic item. I'm gonna copy paste this so you can read along. Oh, there's kind of a lot. Copy, paste, and then I will also read this for the listeners. Oh, my message is too long.
Maybe you just post the link to the website.
Yeah. I can do that. I can absolutely do that. Let's just do, because there's a link here, and I think I copied it, maybe. And then I can just click. Nope, that didn't do it. I have to do it differently. All right. Yes, this is the one. Here's the link. Copy and paste. So you'll have to go there to find it. It's under buying a magic item. I'm going to read it so that other people who may or may not be listening can hear. Buying a magic item. Purchasing a magic item requires time and money to seek out and contact people willing to sell items. Even then, there's no guarantee a seller will have the items a character desires. Resources. Finding magic items to purchase requires at least 1 work week of effort and 100 gold in expenses. Spending more time and money increases your chances of finding a high-quality item. Resolution. A character seeking to buy a magic item makes a charisma persuasion check to determine the quality of the seller found. The character gains a +1 bonus on the check for every work week beyond the first that is spent seeking a seller, and a +1 bonus for every additional 100 gold spent on the search up to a maximum of 10. The monetary costs includes a wealthy lifestyle for the buyer, must impress potential business partners. So let me read that again because there gains 1 for every work week beyond the first. And I see. Okay, so you can actually do it. I wasn't sure if you could do it the way that you were wanting to, but it looks like you can, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so basically scumming the work weeks by getting the lead from a having the speaker like go out on my behalf to go purchase the item with my money.
Yeah, so essentially you still have to spend 1 work week, but you could spend 100s. That's 1,000. You could spend 1,000 gold to gain a +10 on the check, and that's essentially the speaker sending out a message to a lot of people and having a lot of people sort of run the towns and run the gamut of things and try to find it on the quick fast.
1,000 just to find it?
Yep, 1,000 just to find it. Well, so you don't have to spend that much. So it's a check. So hold on. Let me finish reading. As shown on the buying magic table, the total of the check dictates which table in the Dungeon Master's Guide to roll on to determine which items are on the market. Oh. Or you can roll for items from any table associated with a lower total on the buying magic items table. As a further option, to reflect the availability of items in your campaign, you can apply a -10 penalty for low magic campaigns. Okay, you can assess price based on rarity, half the price. If the character seeks a specific magic item. First decide if it's an item you want to allow in your game. If so, include the desired item among the items for sale on a check total of 10 or higher if the item is common, 15 or higher if it's uncommon, and 20 or higher if it's rare, 25 or higher if it's legendary. Okay. Yeah, so you definitely have to spend money just to find the item, and it's an uncommon, so the check is going to be 15 or higher for an uncommon. And let me find this item now. What did you say it was called again?
Boots of the Winterlands. I can
of the Winterlands.
Just do sure. It's the link to it in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be better. Let's see, Boots of the Winterlands. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll allow those. Let's see. So 15 or higher if they're uncommon. Let's see. They don't seem super broken. Yeah, I don't think they're broken. So we'll just say they're 15. So the check is going to be 15. So with 1 week, 1 work week, and 100 gold. Hold on. Beyond the first that is spent. Okay. So 1 work week and 100 gold allows you to make the check. And it's a charisma check. So you'll add your charisma modifier to the check. And if it's 15 or higher, you succeed in finding someone. And if you can add a bonus modifier to the check up to plus 10, and it's 100 gold spent for every plus 1 that you would like to add. So, would you like to add any modifiers to that besides just your charisma modifier?
No, that's fine. I just rolled. I rolled a 13 plus my charisma modifier makes it 16.
Hey, all right. So you spend 100 gold to find. That was actually quite cheap. You're gonna get some money back probably, because you gave him 1,500, right?
Yes.
All right. So 1,500. Yeah, you find it. How about that? All right. So let's see. Let's see what else you might find.
That was my only message that I wanted to send was for the boots. I'm not interested in anything
So
else.
you could find us magical items.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, if you guys want me to write any, if you guys want me to.
Well, so you can look for specific items, or which is true, but also when you find the seller, he sells other items as well, and it'll be like a random thing from the list that I will roll on.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. So that like he buys the boots, but like I'll have to go pick them up anyways. Like once I'm done with the whole dragon shebang. So we could probably have a discussion on what other items and where is this buyer. So if there's something in there that the other guys want, they're welcome to buy it. And also, if there's something else that they want to search for, you'd have to make another check, because if it's not, like, I'll roll, but if it's not in there, random. Then it's not in there. So let's see. Let me figure out how to do this. Resolution. Oh, hey, I should roll for complications too. No, I don't. I think the failing is enough. The potential failing was enough for this time. So, let's see. Resolution. As shown on the buying magic items table, the check dictates which table in the Dungeon Master's Guide to roll on to determine which items are on market, or you can roll for items from any table associated with a lower table on the buying magic thing. Okay, so 1, 2, total check. Oh, okay. So your total check was 16? Yep.
All right. So then you're on the 16 to 24, which is magic. Roll 1d4 times on magic item table D. All right, we can do that. All right. That's percentiles. I love percentiles. So I'll put this in the chat, what is available. So definitely available are the Boots of the Winterland. Boots of the Winterland. And let's see what else we got. I'm kind of excited because I don't know what's going to be.
The excitement.
Okay, percentiles. 33. That is Potion of Speed.
Okay, decent start, decent start.
Copy.
So very fast use.
Yep, pretty fast use. And upon meeting the guy, who is a tiefling, when you meet him, he's a red tiefling, young guy, black hair, and he's got like kind of a golden chain hanging on, like it's wrapped around his horns and it hangs down around his forehead. It's very fashionable. Let's see here. What else does he have? So let's see what these do. Boots of Speed. He tells you what they all do. These Boots of Speed. When you drink this potion, you gain the effect of the haste spell for 1 minute. No concentration required. The potion, and you can see when you hold it up and inspect the potion to see the potion's yellow fluid is streaked with black and it says black and swirls on it. It's streaked with black and swirls on it. So it's a yellow potion that has black swirls on it. Interesting. Okay.
What else do you have to offer? Ooh.
Oh, 1d4 times, so I should roll a d4 to see how many more times I should roll. 2. So,
Okay.
one more item. And that's a 25. It's a Potion of Invisibility.
How much are you selling these potions for?
Yeah, first let me read. I mean, the Potion of Invisibility is pretty obvious. You become invisible for an hour when you drink it, and the potion's container looks empty, but feels as though it holds liquid. That's cool. So let's figure out how much he's selling these for, because they're consumables, so they're a little bit cheaper, I think.
Regardless, I'm only looking for the Boots of Winterland. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
Roll
so
damage.
let's see. The Potion of Invisibility is a very rare item, so that makes it 1d4 plus 1 times 10,000 GAP! But because it's consumable, I'm going to reduce the cost by... I'm going to make it 1/4 the cost. I'm sure there's a rule for that somewhere, but I'm just going to spitball it. So 1d4. 2, 3 times 10,000. That divided by 4, 7,500. So the Potion of Invisibility goes... This Potion of Invisibility goes for 7,500 gold.
I spit out wine.
Well, it is a very rare item, you see. It's quite dangerous to gather the contents.
How much for the potion of speed?
Alright, let's find out. Potion of speed is I love that. What?
There's nothing even in the vial.
You're selling me an empty vial! You fiend! It's brilliant. Oh, yeah, no, Potion of Speed is very rare as well, so it's gonna be nearly the same price, but a little bit different, because there's a die roll involved, so let's see. 3. If you want, I can look up the actual rule and see if I can figure it out, because I know they're a little cheaper. Just depends on if
Either
you
way.
take the time to do that.
Nah, that's okay. We got the boots.
3 plus 4, so it's even more expensive. Let's see. So 4 times 10,000, 40,000 divided by 4 is this handy little serum runs for a measly 10,000 gold.
Well, thanks for the boots.
I'm gonna see. I want to see if I can find that consumable rule. I'm just gonna do a quick Google search. Let's see. D&D cost or magic items consumable cost, because that does seem high. Common items, consumables. Sounds ridiculously high.
While they're doing that,
Oh. Yeah, so it's saying that...
Can I put together the ingredients to try to make a spell of invisibility? I mean, a potion of invisibility.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go by this rule. So it just says here on Stack Exchange that consumable magic items are worth 50 to 100 gold points per spell level of the spell effect that they create. So invisibility and haste, essentially. So one of you has haste. What spell level is haste?
Haste is third level, invisibility is second. Spells.
What level?
Yeah. Haste is 3, invisibility is 2.
2. Okay, so then we'll say haste is gonna be 300. We're gonna fix this. The potion of speed. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of some other items. I swear I wasn't trying to pull one over on you. I've recalled that the price of these they're far more affordable than that because they're consumables, of course.
Hold on, before they buy anything, because I have alchemy supplies, I would like to try to make it myself.
Sure. Absolutely. And
yeah, if we are spending a whole week, so perhaps.
So I would cast Fox's Cunning on myself to give me advantage on intelligence checks.
So you would need the requisite materials to make those things. So
I'm asking, if he sells the potion, does he also have the ingredients to make it?
Well...
Or if not, I'll go to a herbalism store.
Yeah, they are quite difficult to find. I could, if you would prefer to Oh my god. My brain. Oh. Yeah, these ingredients could most certainly be found. They're a little on the rare side, but they could certainly be found. They're gonna run you. Let's see. So, the cost of ingredients for the potion of speed would be about 100 gold. Well, 50 gold. 50 gold. And about right?
Oh,
No,
by the way,
100.
did we have a chance to talk to find out what kind of dragon it is?
Oh yeah, it's
Frost.
it's an ancient white worm.
Yeah, so it's a cold
So
frost dragon.
100 gold for the ingredients for the potion of speed, and he estimates that it's gonna be 66 gold for the potion, for the ingredients for the potion of invisibility. And he says, I don't happen to have the ingredients on me, but with a week of searching, I'm sure I could find them.
Because, yeah, the potions I would want to make are invisibility for Winifred, and also cold resistant, a potion of cold resistance for 3 of us.
Yeah, you can definitely. Yes, you can most certainly find those. I think. Well, let's come back to my abode and see if we have in my stores. Do you agree to go back?
Yeah.
All right. So you're looking for a potion of what now?
Ingredients so I can make 3 potions of cold resistance.
If I get the boots, I wouldn't.
2 potions. Well, still
Yeah.
3. I know it's 3 because we also have clangor.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
And if we don't do it for clangor, then I'd give it to you.
I don't think, like, if I have boots of that resist cold and then I drink a potion of resist cold,
No,
does that make me immune?
No. My point was, if you don't get the boots, then you'll have a potion. If you get the boots, then I'll give the potion to clangor.
Tiefling man, how much are the boots again?
Ah, yes. The whole reason you summoned me.
Yeah,
We
because I'm-
nearly forgot. Let's see, 1d6. It's a 5 plus times 100. So these are going to run you 500 gold, my good sir.
Okay, and it's going to be 600 total because I spent a.
Yeah.
Okay. So, boom. And I'll add that to my inventory.
And it's 4:43. So let's go ahead and get those ingredients for you, Divine, and then we'll take a short break.
All right.
So potion of cold resistance, or just actually probably just potion of resistance, and then add the cold to it. Resist. Potion of Resistance is uncommon. I think Resistance is a spell as well. Open a new tab. Be under sources, games. Where would this be? I'll just type in resistance. See what we get. Ah, yeah, spells. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
So, looking it up already in the handbook, it's
It's a cantrip.
what is? Yeah, resistance.
Well, that's
Yeah.
quite easy. And it lasts for 1 minute, so you're going to want it to last for an hour, because 1 minute would be
Yeah,
silly.
Because potions aren't always the same as the spell.
Right.
For example, invisibility on the potion lasts for an hour. On the spell, it low level for a minute.
Yeah.
And concentration.
Yeah.
But if you drink a potion of invisibility, does that mean it doesn't cancel out when you attack? Because I know that it
Yeah, it
does,
still does.
when you. It
Yeah,
still
it still
does. Okay. Because you could make potions of invisibility and kind of bypass that.
Then it says
So-
capital price and creation time for any consumable item. So common is 50, uncommon 200. So if we're saying they're uncommon, it'd be 100 gold.
Yeah, well, I think they're common, so I'm going to say they're 50, and that's the wholesale price, and you're just looking for the ingredients. So we'll divide that by 3 and say it's 16 gold, and those are you can easily come by those.
Alright. So I'll buy enough for 6, just in case I screw up a few rolls.
Okay.
And-
6
Yeah.
sets of ingredients for potion of cold resistance.
So for all of these rolls, just add 3.
So the potion of cold resistance, the ingredients he gives you, he gives you some fur of a yeti, some ice chipped away from the sea of moving ice, and oh, I had it. What was the last thing? Oh yeah, he he goes out with a small like garden shovel and brings back a scoop of snow.
Alright.
So 16 times 6 is 96 gold.
Alright. I'm down to a very few gold.
I'm sure your more wealthy friends could probably subsidize your magic habits, your magic
So-
hobbies.
Oh no, I'm
Since
paying it.
you
I'm saying
benefit them.
personally down to that. And the rolls are I didn't meet the DC on one because one was a 14, but the rest were 24, 22, 25, 21, and 26. So I have 5 working potions of cold resistance. Or resistance.
Oh yeah, because you're adding your modifier. So this 6 is
Well, for those, the DC would be 15,
okay.
I believe. because
So,
they're uncommon or common.
all right. So
I
this
think
first
there it is.
roll is. So it looks like you've got a 21, a 19, a 20, and a.
I got a... Because those don't include my proficiency bonus because of my alchemy supplies. So that's intelligence. That's why I did 14, 24, 22, 25, 21, and 26. So
Works
I put
for me.
Sorry, I forgot to hit enter on that. There you go.
Gotcha. All right. So you have 5 potions of cold resistance.
And how much for the invisibility ingredients?
All right. So that one. Let's see. Invisibility is. What level did you say invisibility was?
Second.
Second. Oh, that's right. So that one's a little more. So that
So,
one
guys,
is 66 gold per set.
How much?
66 gold per set.
Okay. So, guys, I can't afford to buy the ingredients for anything else. If you guys want to buy the ingredients, I'll craft the potion.
Yep, I'll chip in. I'll do the whole 66. It's fine.
All right. Winnie? Winifred?
I think Winifred died.
Are you
Maybe
AFK?
he was choking on the wine earlier. We thought it was because of the price, but he actually choked on the wine.
Okay. Would you like me to do the roll for your potion of invisibility?
I mean, you're the one crafting it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many did you buy?
66 gold's worth. I don't know.
Okay,
Of
so
ingredients.
one set?
That's
Well, at least, luckily, you made it. I got the 17.
Nice.
So I'm seeing if Winnie will give me the ingredients to buy one for myself. And I'll pay him back later.
Probably yes. I would imagine. Can't imagine they wouldn't.
well, because I have invisibility, so that price can go, like, that potion can go to Clanger, I guess.
Well, the reason I say that is the spell only lasts for a minute.
What would you do if I randomly got into your passenger seat?
What?
The spell only lasts for 1 minute.
Um,
Whereas the potion lasts for an hour, which means we can be there and go do what we need to do. And should we see the dragon, we'd all have a surprise round.
I have invisibility. The spell lasts for an hour.
Oh, that's right. It does.
Because, like, the second level is up to an hour, and then the other one is, like, in advanced invisibility. That's the 1 minute one where you can shoot out spells and you're still invisible.
That's right. It does last up to an hour. My bad. Okay, so we have one for Winifred.
Yeah, I think we should get another one for Clanger.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
Pirate Lady can suffer the consequences, I guess.
Well, Klinger's also pretty sneaky. Maybe he doesn't need one.
Well, that and... Wait, Clanger has gold from all the adventures. He can just give us some of his for his potion.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Klinger has gold. Let's see how much he's got.
And he has 26 on his potion, so his is damn good.
Klinger might actually be rolling in it. I wouldn't, because he never spends anything. He's a hoarding bird.
It's, well, that's
He's
you know,
got
crows
53
do
gold.
like to collect shiny things.
But yeah, so we got...
Well, he's only got 53, so he can't really afford it.
Can you all chip in 7 if you chip in 6?
How much do I have to chip in again?
6 gold?
6 gold. Removed.
All right, I'll remove his 53, and you
All right.
rolled it, and that's a
I
success.
now I'm just down to 10 gold.
Nice. And are you gonna hang on to those, or do you want me to put it in Klinger's inventory?
So he can keep his I'll give Winifred his, and he can also keep a cold resistant potion, and I'll hand one out to everyone that needs it. I'll keep the rest in my bag.
All right. All right, and with that, let's take a 10-minute break. I'm actually going to go offline for this break because I'm not set up for breaks quite yet. And then I will be back online in 10 minutes.
Sounds good. See you soon.
All right, see you guys then.
Okey-dokey.
Oh, crafting potions is a lot easier than I thought.
So I was just like, the other one sounds pretty a little bit better, it was a little bit cheaper, and still probably warranty, I'd have to call them to see, but.
Oh my god. And we're back. Are you guys there?
Mhm.
I'm here.
Twitch. Let me, I forgot to share my channel to my Facebook page. It would be good for me to do that. Let me just do it real quick and then we'll get started again.
Let's go fight a dragon.
Let's go fight a dragon. Let's go fight a dragon. Fight it, everyone. So, page.
And before we leave to go fight the dragon, I would like to ritually cast Augury. Or Augury.
I don't remember
What
what
is
that
it?
does.
Give me just a second.
No, not the fortune teller again.
Yep. I'm gonna pray to Helm to give me. Is this a wise course of action to go to where the dragon is located?
Oh.
All right, go ahead and roll them die, or whatever it is, however that works. So this is like the wheel and woe thing?
Oopsies. How do you do the rolling on here again? Is it roll?
On the top left, there's like a dice button.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, you had like 2 metal sticks, right? Silver chopsticks, kind of?
Yeah. There we go. Ooh, I got for good results. I think. If we're doing it the same way we did last time.
I'm trying to figure... I gotta try to remember how we did this. So you have option for wheel for good results, woe for bad results, wheel and woe for both good and bad results, and nothing for results that aren't especially good and especially bad. Well, give me just a second. So how do we know if this succeeded?
Well, last time you had me roll a 1d4 because there were 4 options.
I think it's got to be some kind of a check.
I think it's like Daniel tells you if he thinks it's a good idea, thinks it's a bad idea, or thinks it's good and bad.
By casting, you receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the result of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. Oh, within the next 30 minutes. Okay.
We're about to leave to go to the dragon, so I'm asking, is this a good idea?
Yeah. So... So, because it's the next 30 minutes, right? So you essentially can ask, is leaving now a good idea?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So it's so you can essentially ask like about the next 30 minutes of travel.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
It might be a better idea now that we have potions and everything. It was 30 minutes prior.
Yeah. Let's just skip the time we'd take to figure out the spell. I'll delete it from my inventory and head on out.
Well, you could use the spell later, like once you get to the ship before you go on board. You could ask something like, is going on board a good idea or a bad idea, or what will happen? So it might be something like, what will happen if I go on board, right? Will the results be good or will the results be bad?
Yeah, let's adventure out and go forth and prosper.
All right, let's do it. Oh my gosh, I needed that. All right. Oh, that's right. I have this over here now. I'm gonna put this over here. Okay, so I've got a good scene for this. I think I saved it somewhere. Let me pull up my documents. This will be under games. Not that one. That's the one. Walking through the pine-studded tundra. And you can click on that and it'll become bigger on your screen.
Okay.
So this is kind of what it looks like to walk through the Dale. Dale. The pine trees are heavily laden with snow. As you trudge through snow, or well, I guess you're not trudging. You're being pulled along by Axebeak. The Axebeaks run at a pretty quick pace. You are thankful at one point that so you're traveling, and at one point you feel the rails, like the runners of the sled, sink into the snow a little bit, and nothing really more than that, but you guys have been in the Dale long enough now to know that if you had gone over that patch of land without snowshoes or without being on a sled that evenly distributes your weight, you would have fallen into essentially a snow tunnel
A snow what?
Yeah, it's like think of it as just really deep snow that swallows you.
Uh-oh.
So we're swallowed.
No, you're not swallowed because the rails on the runners of the sled evenly distribute your weight so that you can ride across the surface of something like that without falling down in. But if you were to walk without snowshoes and you stepped on a patch like that, you would just fall in.
So we're in the deep snow now.
Yeah.
Well, no going back now. I don't think we could turn around to this if we wanted to.
So you...
Pretty sure you could just get the birds to do a 180.
You travel across the Eastway. We're just going to speed this up. Because that area that I was talking about is probably out here somewhere. So you traveled across the Eastway through... Stayed at Brynjander, stayed one more night at Bremen, and then came out to like this middle area before you ran across that deep snow area. It's becoming like night, and you find an area to sort of, hunker down. There's solid land beneath you, and there's a larger. There aren't any like rocks or crevices to hunker down in, but there's sort of a larger tree behind you that can serve as sort of a windbreak for your tents.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you start a fire and boil some water so that you can drink.
I can do cast bonfire for at least... It's a 1 minute concentration, but I can keep it up as long as we need to.
And Velen Harpel is like, oh, well, as she sees you guys putting up your tent, let's see, hold on, let me make sure she has this. I think she does. Double checking. Where is she? Oh yeah. So seeing you guys beginning to erect a tent, she's like, there's really no need for that. Let's see, she... Give me a moment. There's a material component for this spell, but I gotta figure out what it is.
Is it Lehman's Hut?
It is, yeah. Do you know what? Oh, a small crystal bead. Yeah, okay. So, but also, it's not a costly material, so she can just pull out her wand. So she pulls out her wand as her spell focus, and she mumbles some words and sort of like puts her hand around the wand and sort of pulls out, and as she does that, she does it slowly. A bubble begins to form, and then right when she gets to the tip of the wand, she pops her hand out really fast, and the sort of orange bubble of energy just bloop, like forms a half dome shape on the ground. She's like, you're welcome to sleep in my hut.
You want me to sleep with you?
Ha 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 ha.
You haven't even taken me out on a date.
She give you see her one eye twinkling a little bit. She goes, "Huh, you're a rather forward gentleman." Actually, you know what? Make a what would that be? A persuasion check. You could either do persuasion.
I'm not really persuasive. Like, I'm just like
All right, just charisma. Then.
Charisma?
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. So that's definitely what happens. She gets a little twinkle in her eye, and she's like, "Huh, you're a forward one." But you are welcome to bunker down in my hut if you wish.
Well, if you insist. I know that Dale hasn't given me the chance to sleep in his hut, so I might take
you're
your
welcome
offer.
you guys are all welcome to come sleep in the hut. Just what's my name?
He never lets us go. I call him Dale. He wants.
I walk by Master Dale and I say, Master Dale, and I high-five him on the way into the hut.
And I look at you and say, please, just call me Dale. Thank you.
No problem.
You only have to do it once.
It's all good, Dale. I'll take up Velen's invitation to sleep in her hut tonight. I'm just gonna keep setting up the tent for the. I still have the wolf with me, right? Or
And
not wolf,
yes.
but the dog. So I'll keep setting up for at least the act to be comfortable and for the dog.
Sure.
And inside my tent, I'll get my unseen servant to start making tea and preparing food.
Nice. All of the pleasantries of home.
Exactly.
Inside her hut, there are a couple of different beds and stuff. It's very clear that you're not getting any hanky panky tonight.
That's fine.
All right.
Inside my hut, I'm gonna just sit and relax in my Chesterfield style leather chair that's there, and open the bar globe and offer whiskey.
Pulling up a book.
Exactly.
Doing a bit of research on the Netherese, the Empire of Netheril.
All right.
All right. Morning. You guys pack up and start on your way. As you are on your way, what's your passive perception checks?
Are you checking all?
10?
I don't notice shit.
14.
With the
What's
clang.
Clangers? Clanger's the one who's gonna have the highest.
Oh, that's true. I always forget about him. Oh shit, I don't want to do it that way. Sometimes my brain just stops working. Slingers' passive perception is...
Passive perception is 16.
Seems about right. Yeah. How did you find that? I want to find it too. Oh, perception. So it's 10. Yeah, 10 plus the modifier. So 16, you're right. And Velen is also with you, so she gets a passive perception check as well. Let me find her. Her passive perception is 12. Okay. And now I gotta roll some dice. Question is, how do I find what I'm looking for? My campaigns, this one, because I created this last time, I think. Here. So I've got my encounters. That's the one. And they're gonna do a sneak check. But they are not sneaky. Oh my god. Yeah, that's bad.
What? What happened?
Still, go home.
They rolled a they rolled a 1 on their sneak check. So you guys are like trotting along, and you see.
Here, asshole.
Hey, thanks.
Did he hear me?
Yeah,
Did that guy hear me?
yeah, they hear you.
They want a beer?
They probably would.
Come get the damn thing.
Huh?
I ain't taking it too, boy.
My dad offers you a beer.
It's kind. It's kind of
Thank you.
If I ever see your dad, I will take him up on that offer.
I'm going to take him up on that offer. I'm going to go ahead and drink this because I can. Because you're allowed to drink on Twitch, surprisingly. Like you're like don't drink obsessively and don't be a jerk is basically the rules around drinking, as I understand them. And if I get struck for understanding incorrectly, then I'll change my ways. Anyway, that was quite nice of him, actually. Let's see here. Where were we? This is really distracting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Love it. This is great. Perfect. So, you guys are in your sleighs, just trotting along. And often in the distance, hiding behind a skinny leafless tree that is way too small to hide behind, is a semi-naked humanoid figure holding a large black mace.
What is that?
That's
Is there
an
only
ambush. You see only one.
How far away is it?
It's gonna be maybe God, I hate distances. Maybe 10 minutes away or so. It's like down the block. Like if you go outside, and like if you go like a normal suburban sort of block, it's like 2 blocks away, 3 blocks.
And
away,
it has a
something like
mace?
that. Yeah, it has a mace. It's clearly trying to hide. Like it's targeting you.
You know what we could do, guys? We could totally like do like a drive-by, because we're on the axe peaks, right? So we could just go up and like, you know, magic it from at a distance and just keep making the axe peaks go, and it probably wouldn't be able to catch up to us. Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a crazy idea.
Go for it.
Alright, let's see here. Okay, so you guys are riding. Go ahead and roll initiative. So 6 for the seer.
So while we're riding and I see that thing, can I enter Blade Song?
Absolutely. 7 for Winifred.
Oh, you know what? I'll pull out my Haversack. Creatures, because I
22 for
can.
Jordan. Oh, I should have added Velen in here. Didn't think to do that. Wonder if I can edit this encounter. I absolutely can. Oh yeah.
Daniel, is it alright if I pull 3?
Yeah, you've got
3
like
things from the
10
bag of
minutes to
tricks
get there,
before-
so you've got all the time
Yeah,
in the world.
Perfect. 2, 5, 1. So we got a giant rat, a weasel, and a panther.
Ah! I bumped a button and lost all the data. Gotta punch it in again. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, nope, that's not what happened. Thank God. That would have been ass. Can you pull those out by yourself? Oh, well, you know what? I should probably put us on a battle stage, shouldn't I? I'll do that. Which one are we going to do this time? How's about we do... Oh, we haven't done this one in a while. Oops. I have like 4 random battle stages and I just cycle between them. Random encounters. Alright. Can you guys see?
Nope. Big mammoth.
I see the mammoth.
Yeah, that was from last time. I'm just gonna leave that there in case you need it. So can you access the... Can you drag and drop your pets, or do you need me to do it?
Yep. Pretty sure I should be able to.
I think you should be able to as well.
Yep.
Oh, damn, you got 22.
Though I don't have access to the weasel.
Okay, give me a second. The weak soul?
The weasel, yeah.
Oh, the weasel. Got
Yeah.
you.
some reason the giant rat glows, which is
It glows?
yeah. If I move it around, it has like a circle of...
Oh yeah, it does. Huh. Probably it does. That's weird. I can fix that. Something to do with the dynamic lighting. Let's see here. Well, how about I'll just make a note for myself to fix that later. Let me put that in Evernote. Fix glow of giant rat in Roll20. And I'll fix that later. Weasel. Let's see. Is it a giant weasel? No,
just a regular weasel.
It looks like I didn't put it in here.
Yeah, because, well, for future reference, I'll just be able to pull it out.
Yeah. Giant, regular weasel, you said?
Just regular.
Oh, weasel, go! That's actually hilarious. I just imagine like a what do you call it? A ferret.
Yeah.
Now edit this. Can be controlled by all players in all players journal. Done.
Yay.
And I'll put it in the gray bag of tricks. That's right. I didn't. I decided to only fill the gray bag of tricks when you rolled the thing instead of filling it all at once. Because I'm lazy. All right. So let me finish putting in these.
So what does the creature look like again?
Okay, so it's a humanoid. It's like a human creature. It's tall. It has long black hair. Now that you're getting closer to it, you can see that some parts of its body are blackened. It's naked, and it's holding a large black mace. I can actually give you a picture of it. Just give me a moment. Go ahead and start that.
Well, I prepared the spell for the dragon, but I might want to use it here just because it could be fun.
Look forward to seeing it.
I wonder if I can just paste the image here. Can I just do a copy paste? Does that work? It does. So yeah, it looks about like that. Which is weird because it's like -50 out here. Meanwhile, Desir with his boots is like, oh, feels comfortable. Feel pretty good.
Actually, it's kind of warm. I'm wearing heavy clothing, so I'm kind of.
Oh yeah. The rest of
feeling.
you guys are like, oh, it's so cold. All right, so first off is Master Dale of Neverwinter. Oh, I should probably drop these guys. So let me rearrange you. Actually, this is probably a good place for you guys to be arranged in this sort of air cluster.
Which one's the baddie?
All right, so let me find them. So I didn't create a token for these guys, so I'm just gonna use a different.
I can use an old one.
Yeah, I'll use bandit tokens. So you got one baddie hiding behind this tree.
Which tree?
Well, I just
Oh, it's
dropped it,
hiding.
so-
We don't see. Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Was
can
that the
you see?
one who had the speed of 1? Or the...
Yeah, so he's hiding behind this tree, which is clearly too small for him. This tree is it's not woody. It's not leafy. It's totally bare, and it's like maybe 2 inches around, and he's hiding behind it. Like he hasn't realized that you've detected him yet.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm going to go ahead and just walk up to him and say, "Hello, hidden creature." I'm just going to cast slow on him.
Ooh, what does it look like?
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot. It's been so long since I've played this character. I forgot about the rules for
Everything.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misread the rule on my character. Been so long. I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to just cast slow on him. Would you like me to?
Yeah. Does he? How does? Go ahead and click that. That way I can see what to do.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, is he the only one there? Is what I meant to ask. Or is he just the only one I can see?
I mean, you can make a perception check.
Should I even be allowed to? Oh, yeah.
I think that could be a free action, yeah. 19. Yeah, you definitely see another person similarly dressed hanging out right over here.
Yeah, I will cast slow on both of them.
All right, 40-foot 40-foot cube. Wisdom
And they make it.
saving throw. All right, so let me pull out that cube. I'm pretty sure, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you can definitely hit both of them.
Yep.
All right. So they get a wisdom saving throw.
That's a fail. And that's a fail.
Fail. They're slowed. So that means they get a -2 to Dex and
AC.
AC.
And it can use either an action or a bonus action, not both, regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, and it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn. So yeah, no reactions, one action, no multi-attack.
Doesn't say anything about a move action.
Target speed is halved.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. I can live with that. All right. Perfect. So you.
And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that is my entire turn.
How does your slow spell look?
When I cast it, you see me sort of take my free hand and rub my fingers together, and I just go slow. taking 6 seconds to utter the word slowly.
Yeah, they get so there. You can visibly see like that they're sort of moving at a normal pace, and then you can see quite dramatically when the spell takes effect because they begin to move much more slowly, as though they're in a sort of molasses.
And that's great.
All right.
By the way,
next.
is it still nighttime or is it daytime?
It's always nighttime.
Oh, that's right.
Well, it's morning here. It's morning-ish, so it's nighttime.
I'll just turn the brightness of my screen up.
It's like 9 or so. Clanger's turn. What's he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna cast Fairy Fire. Which I think is... Huh, good job. I'm not sure why it did that. Let's see, each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue-green or violet fire. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined in light. If it fails the dexterity saving throw for the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. So it's a 20-foot cube. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I don't think it
You can't get both.
He's only going to get one. So he'll get this one. So let's see. This guy is affected by slow and fairy fire. Let's look at this. Icons. Forgot I had icons. Those are cool. Let's see. I think I've got slow. We'll just put a snail on top of him. Snails for slow. And fairy fire. Which they don't have. I'm just going to put a target. There's a target somewhere. I'm just going to put a target on top of him as well. So that means he's got advantage, or you've got advantage when attacking him. And that is one action. So next up is...
Is it me or did... Okay.
Winifred.
Excellent. So I see a person right here, and I see a person right here.
Correct. They're
What do they
moving
look like
slowly.
again?
They're humans. Their hair is kind of long and shaggy, and various parts of them, like their hands or a finger or an ear, is totally blackened. They're essentially wearing only a loincloth. They're not wearing shoes. Both of them have black feet.
More minions of the Frost Maiden. So I run to the side of this one right here.
All right, you have advantage on the attack.
Yeah, I'll attack. I'll attack with swinging very hard with Great Weapon Master for my attacks. Is a 19 hit?
Oh, you have advantage.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 19 hit.
A 19 hits.
Alright, so first one, 24 damage. Does a 13 hit.
A 13 hits.
Okay.
They also have -2 to AC, so
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Good catch. I forgot that. Thank you for reminding me.
So then I deal. So for total, I deal 24. I deal 44 damage.
What was the second one? Because I already inputted the first damage.
Oh, the second one is 20 damage.
20 damage. Okay.
Yeah, I swing with my maul, aiming for the head. It's moving slow. Start cracking it.
You crack it right in the temple, and you hear like a satisfying crunch as you change its momentum towards the left. Then you continue to swing your hammer around and right on top of the head. You know, there's a bit of an indent as blood begins running down his face.
Does this count as unoccupied space right here behind him?
Yes.
Right there. Okay, I want to move him 5 feet that way.
Okay. Push him that way.
Yep, and then I'll try to give Clanger a clear shot, so I'll take a step back. Right there, because I moved 25 feet to get there, so I can only take one step back. I'm just going to take one step back. Right there.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn.
Next is Desir.
I will use level 2 Scorching Ray. And so I don't know if I have to roll multiple, because it's 3 rays, right? So 3 rays are the exact same. They're
Yeah, you can just roll once. Unless you
Just
want to
roll
roll
once.
multiple times. I don't really care.
I think if I just for sake of simplicity. So I rolled a 17. And I'm
yeah,
gonna direct.
all 3 of those are going to hit.
All 3 of those are gonna hit the guy that Winifred targeting.
Alright, roll damage.
Damage is rolled with it, so I do 5 plus my +3 for fire elemental affinity. So I do 8 damage
8
per.
times 3.
Yeah. So 24.
24. Yeah.
We're letting it loose.
So is like one ray coming out of like each fingertip for like one hand, or how's?
So basically, yeah, I guess I have my index, middle, and my not pinky finger, but the one in between the, like, what do you call that thing?
The ring finger?
The ring finger. So I kind of do like that 3 where one bolt comes out of every finger. one hits him, like, two hit him in each, like, piece of shoulder, and then the last one hits him, like, in the neck.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like it's a bit like a laser with a tinge of red, or reddish orange fire stuff. This is very well described. All right, next is their turn.
Ooh, Charlatan Madness.
That didn't. Why? Why didn't it roll? It's supposed to be a roll. Okay.
Can't tell if those are low rolls or high rolls.
I know, right? So the berserker that you attacked shouts in glee and charges at you. Oh, that's right. Slowly. So his speed is half.
Charges slowly.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's enough. It's and he's gonna swing. He gets advantage on his attack roll for being in a rage.
No, he only gets one.
He can't get advantage.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said roll for each attack.
Nah, it's all right. Where's his flail? Chardolin flail. So 13 or 19 versus your AC.
Let me check it real quick. Haven't played the bit. Barely misses.
Nice. Your AC is what, 20?
Yeah.
Nice.
We're pretty stacked adventurers at this point.
We stacked you. Next guy has 15 feet of movement, essentially. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15. That's as far as he can move. And he's going to throw a javelin. $19 at the rat.
The rat will definitely get hit. I don't know what's AC, but
Not the rat.
No, Splinter.
Oh, Master Splinter.
5.
Yes.
5 HP.
Oh,
So you'll-
fine.
Yeah, you'll have to keep track of their HP because I forgot to put them in. Oh no, I can do it here. Their HP is. Oh yeah, good job, you did it.
There we go.
I forgot how to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are all collectively like, huh? Forgot how to do that. Funny.
It's been a while.
All right, next up is Velen Harpel, who I forgot to drop in. We'll just find somebody. How about just somebody easy to see and sort of like tell the difference between. If it shows up. Hey, just gotta shrink it down for a minute. This is gonna be Velen for now.
Oh, she's thick.
She's a thick girl. She's over here. And let's see what her stoof is. What does she do? She can do a lot of stuff. Oh, how about that? Let's have her do... Oh, this is my favorite spell. I'm going to use this one. The one that is coming at you guys over here. So this one, she's going to cast Hold Person on.
Got the arsenal.
So, oops. Oh no! Okay, it's fine. So target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. At the end of its turns, it can make another saving throw to try to end the thing. And let's see.
How long does Fairy Fire last?
A while. I'll have to check. I think it lasts like 10 rounds or something. It's easily a minute at least.
Nice.
So Hold Person. What's her spell save DC?
Oh, come on, fail this.
Where do they have this? Where would they have the spell save DC? Anybody know?
Spell save DC is proficiency bonus plus your wisdom or your spellcasting modifier.
Okay, and hers would probably be intelligence.
So if she's 6th level, then it would be, assuming she has 20 or 18 intelligence, then it would be 4, 5, 6, 7, so whatever you roll.
6
So it'd be
plus 10, right?
15.
So 16, yeah. Yeah, that's easy. Okay, let's see. So they need to roll wisdom, I think. Is that what it said? Yeah. All right. And I
Low
think
roll.
these guys, I think these guys are not wise. They were hiding behind a tree that was way too thin. What is going on here? Something is wrong. Something is desperately, horribly wrong. Fuck. What is going on?
I'll be right back in 5 minutes. My brother's having troubles with his Presto card, the bus card, and he's currently stranded I don't know where. So I'll try to fix that for him.
Okay. Alright, so these guys gotta make a wisdom. Huh, their wisdom is 0. So that's a fail. And he is held. Held fast. Alright, next up is...
Everyone, gangplank him. Every hit's a critical.
Master Dale of Neverwinter.
Wait, the animals haven't gone.
Oh, that's right.
I
Or should
am
we
just gonna
No, we can
Well,
have the animals go last. That's fine.
have the animals just attack if Buddy gets in range.
Okay.
Well, he's
So,
held now, so he's not going to get in range.
It's okay. He has to go pick up brothers, so
Oh, right. Okay.
No, I'm just refilling. I gotta do some filling of money on some accounts. Should
So
be fine.
what are the creatures?
Did you say what or where?
What are the creatures?
They seem to be humanoid creatures.
No. The animals.
Oh.
There's a rat, a
giant rat, a panther, and a weasel. If you're looking for their attacks, they're all in the Great Bag of Tricks.
Oh yeah, I'm just opening up the All right. Yeah, I got him. So, to make it easy, do you want to we'll just have the animals go here, here, and here, so they're just covering this line right here?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead
One.
and do that.
Actually, and then we'll have one come here, so it gets flanking.
The weasel on that side, since it's kind of
There we go.
whatever.
All right. Are you going to have him attack?
Yep. I'm just trying to see if it has multi-attack or not. It does not. Oops. They all have advantage. Forgot about that. And come on, you.
Do they all have advantage?
Oh, I need to redo the first bite. Yep. Target is paralyzed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, if they're attacking and they're 5 feet away, then it's automatic crit.
On a hit, yes.
On a hit, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So a 9. Keep in mind, AC is -2.
-2, so
We're getting the
no.
debuff on them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
These guys are fucked. But that is not enough. Not enough.
All right.
So he tries to bite and chews on some hide.
All right. I will roll for giant rat. So 2d4 plus 2 is their critical, or 1d4 plus 2, so... So the rat does 5. Sorry about this.
That's all right.
The panther does 11.
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, so 5 for the... Okay. So... Oh, you mean the weasel does 5? Because the rat missed. I mean, it doesn't really matter. One of them does 5.
The rat did 5, and the panther did 11. The weasel missed.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah. And I'm up. I will come right there with my bonus action. I will rock the... No, I will not, because that would drop slow. I'm glad I didn't finish that statement. So I'm going to... Booming Blade. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 hits.
All right.
Uh-oh. I know. I know.
It's not letting me do crits for some reason.
Ah.
Oh wait, sorry. That's my fault. I did that Did I do it wrong?
I don't think so. I think you could force a crit if you go to the extension. You can click on it and scroll down to just use your mouse. You can scroll, like, you don't even have to scroll, just like look down. You can find force critical hits, click that.
Oh yeah, it's just for some reason the dice is rolling on the screen. I got to figure out how to turn off the dice.
Oh,
yay! Sorry about this.
that's all right.
All right. Settings. Preferences. Oh, come on. All right. So anyway, it is... Wow, it's been so long. All right. So I'll do roll 1d8 plus 4. So, wow, there's 17 and also... So for a total of 20... 22 damage. And I will attack again.
Nice.
Oh, come on, you stupid settings. And I will go ahead and Booming Blade. Hey, I got... What happens if you double crit?
You can only crit once.
Double crit.
Wishful thinking.
There's 12...
You send an enemy to another dimension as well.
He's
So
fucking
that one,
hilarious.
he takes 14 damage, but let me know if he moves, because he'll take more. And I will use the rest of my movement, and I'll just come over here. And he does not get an opportunity attack.
That's true.
Because even if he wasn't, I'm mobile, so there's no opportunity attacks.
Skirmisher build.
Well, if you're a blade singer and you're casting Booming Blade and you want to get characters to move.
True that. Klinger's turn. Klinger is going to pull out that longbow, buddy. And he has allies distracting the foe. So I do believe that means he can take advantage of sneak.
Yeah, he's got a sneak attack, he's got advantage.
15's gonna hit. And does 14 damage total. Thunk. Right between the ribs. Next up is Winifred.
Alright. I see the Chardalyn Berserker in front of me. And I'm gonna hit him with my hammer again. Who could have saw that coming? Yeah, I'm gonna hit him. Use Great Weapon Master.
Alright, go for it.
Alright. You said 13 does hit. I still have advantage because of Fairy Fire, right?
Yes,
And his AC is -2.
correct. So
Yes.
totally you rolled the highest one you rolled is 13?
Yep.
That is a hit.
Don't need luck when you have all the debuffs.
Yeah.
So 25 damage on that one.
Nice.
Of course, I'll swing again for the fences.
Right, how much was the first damage?
25.
25.
Oh, that kills him.
Yay!
Oh, alright. Alright, well, he's dead. Good.
Describe his death.
Yeah, so they just look like humans, right? Pretty much.
Yep.
So my first hit, I'll swing up and knock his head up into the air, and then I'll bring my hammer square onto his nose and smash his face down. Back into
He
the
actually
ground.
doesn't have a nose, so you bring your hammer like onto the hole where his nose would be, and just totally cave in all of that facial bone structure.
Yeah, then I'm gonna move over him, or I'll move around him. There's only one more.
Yep.
Well, he has to die too now.
You're next. So you're gonna take your move action to get a little closer?
Yeah. So is the tree considered like rough terrain or what?
Yeah, it's gonna be considered difficult terrain. And also his body is considered difficult terrain.
Let's see if I can get there. I can attack from right there, right?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect.
How much movement do you have?
Only 30, but
Yeah, because I'm thinking,
Oh.
because you were here. So
Yeah,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you'd have to stop right here at this square.
yeah, so this is how I did it. I went 5 to right there.
Oh,
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I see. You're kind of like,
Is that rough terrain right there? Or I couldn't tell if the tree was in that square fully or not.
yeah, we'll say not.
Yeah, I mean, either way, the guy's gonna die. I don't have to be the one to kill him, too.
All right, Desir, you are next.
Alright, I will cast a 3rd level Scorching Ray. Doing basically the same thing as last time, except one. So instead of 3 fingers, I have 4. I'm using my pinky. So I shoot 4 rays of fire.
Nice.
I rolled a 19, so I am accurate on the slow man. Doing 8 damage per hit, so I am dealing a total of 32 damage.
Describe his death.
Yay!
Well, I have 4 fingers, so I shoot at each limb. And as I hit like the basically the extremities of the limb, and make them all bend backwards. So I hit the palms of his arms. You know that you have your elbow joint on your arms, so those joints bend backwards first, and then I hit the knee, and he kind of just crumples down lifeless. Quite gross, but whatever.
And that's the battle.
We did it.
Nice.
Well done.
Well done, folks. Nobody got injured except the rat.
That
rat
is not
took a
a
javelin.
small loss.
There's still a javelin sticking out of the rat's back.
I'll go take it out. Clanger, do you have a healing kit? Maybe we can...
Clanger has a healing kit, but it's really for, like, if you're dying.
Alright, then. I guess I'll just give it some cheese to cheer it up.
It seems very appreciative. Are you guys gonna loot the bodies?
Yeah, sure, I'll take one. Well, actually, no. Let the 2 people that killed it do it.
What are we doing?
Looting bodies?
Yeah, I'll take a look. I mean, can't imagine they had too much. They look homeless.
Yeah, so on this first one you didn't notice anything, but on the second one over here, you walk over, and you know its arm is like bent backwards behind its back in ways that an arm should never be bent. But you see on its ring finger it has a blue ring.
You want me to identify?
Well, why shouldn't I have it?
He's not going to use it.
Would you like me to identify that for you?
Go for it.
Yes,
Alright,
please.
I'll sit down, I'll spend 10 minutes.
Alright, after spending 10 minutes identifying the magic in this ring, so you pick it up, and the ring is unusually cold to the touch. It appears to be made of solid ice, and there is a 8-armed snowflake symbol or sigil, sort of carved on the outside, and you know you sort of hold it up to your eye and focus on it for a little while, and you realize that this is a ring of teleportation, but it functions a little unusually. It seems as though this ring will teleport you to one place and one place only, as long as you are on this plane of existence.
Ooh, risky.
I explain this to everyone. And I say, well, it teleports us anywhere, but I think we should deal with the dragon first, and then, because it can take us anywhere, find out where, because who doesn't love an adventure?
Yeah.
Do you have a familiar, perhaps? Dale?
I do, but the problem that I know from teleportation is if I put the ring on the familiar and I have it teleport, if I snap to bring it back, the ring will stay and drop off the familiar and land wherever it teleported to, which makes us unable to go there. Because I can snap the Fae out of existence, but because this is a corporeal object, it doesn't work with the same properties of a familiar.
It's true.
Gotcha.
I was just thinking that just because the fact that you could basically TP but still have like vision, like because you can.
I wouldn't. That's the issue, because we don't know how far away it would teleport, and that ability only works within a certain range.
I see.
So the ring can teleport all of us?
I don't know.
So examining it a little further, it looks like as long as you're standing in a close enough proximity, it will teleport any creature standing in that proximity. Any number of
Yes,
creatures.
it would. As long as we're all within a 5-foot radius.
So we can get to the Frost Island Isle, get Divine, grab him with us, teleport, get out of there. That's what you're saying.
Or we grab him, we teleport, and we land right where we teleported from, because that's where it teleports to.
Yeah, it does kind of look sus. I don't know.
That's where it goes?
Potentially. I don't know.
Oh, wait, we don't know where it goes.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You don't know where it goes. It's hard to tell.
Which is why I'm saying after we slay the dragon, we do the ring thing for fun, because I'm sorry, this is magical. You don't know where it goes. I love a mystery. It's just what I like to call fun.
You know who doesn't love a mystery? This guy.
Winifred?
I do not love mysteries. My whole life has been a mystery for the last 3 months. I'm getting sick of it. Ladies with eye patches interrupting my dinners, saying, "Let's go."
Getting pregnant? How the fuck does that happen when you're a male?
Yeah, somebody getting murdered in the streets, and then the guy turns invisible, and then we fight him, and he turns out to be a servant of the Frost Maiden. And then we go to a different place, and it's taken over by cultists, and then we fight them, and then it's still not the end, and then I make friends, and they get boiled in a cauldron.
And your friend dies and then comes back to life and then betrays you.
I put my hand on Winifred's shoulders and say, "You're a good man." But I'm just going to go ahead and say, I've never seen a person who's an adventurer hated adventuring as much as you.
No, I'm not an adventurer. I'm a victim of fate.
Ooh, I like that.
Got brought up here. I was just about to leave, and then there's a dragon attacking the towns, and then we killed the dragon. I was like, "Oh, I'll leave right now," but then Divine escapes to the Isle, so I have to go get him, and now I'm out here.
Huh. You're very loyal. I think that's an admirable quality to possess. Good man.
Thank you. That makes it all worth it.
Maybe when we
Finally,
get
I'm
back
looking forward to dining on some sarcasm tonight.
Oh. So we should get close to wrapping it up, but I forgot to mention, I may have forgotten to mention it last time, is that the preparation that you did, Winifred, with the town, actually did save lives. I reduced the number, so there was a certain number that were supposed to die, and I reduced the number that were supposed to die by a percentage based on how well you succeeded in, like, formulating that plan.
Thank you.
So good job. I think I just forgot to tell you, though.
I'm glad that it all worked out. Couldn't have done it without my friends.
You know what I would love after everything winds down in this adventure, to figure out how to keep Winifred adventuring.
Winifred's a noble. He wants to go back to the noble life of nobles.
Yes, why would I not want to go back to that? It's wonderful.
Maybe have a side quest where his family tries to, because they want to take over that line of nobility.
Ooh, that's good.
That way, he has no home, and now he only has his friends. So he decides to keep adventuring.
Talk about an amazing quest after this to go avenge his family for him. I mean, after all he's done for us.
Yeah, that's a good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or I could just go and retire.
Totally have like some
Winifred,
vampire aristocrats that like hypnotize this family.
So, are you getting tired of this character, or are you just wanting a new one? Is that the case?
No.
He's just role playing.
What kind of normal person would like this?
I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean,
You're not a normal person.
Yeah, you're not
I rest my case.
What do you mean? I'm
what are you talking about? It's noble.
speaker for like 5 minutes. That's pretty noble.
It's lesser nobles who pretty much did all the exploring and adventuring and all of this stuff because they're lesser nobles.
Yes,
Like,
and I've done my exploring, I've done my adventuring, and now I'm ready to retire.
But then you'll
All right,
just drink
guys.
beer and get
Well-
fat. That's no fun.
It is 5:30. We're running a little bit over, but that's all right.
It's not. It's 5:32.
5:32.
Need to go home.
And so let's go ahead and call it quits, and we'll pick up here next time, 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in
Nice
2
place
weeks.
to leave at.
Every 2 weeks from now on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you lose?
No, I will not. I will not retire my character.
I think you did.
All right, guys. I will see you. Let's see the date. I think I wrote it down. Mark it in your calendars. Just
The
Saturday.
second.
Yeah, 2nd of October. That's the one.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep. I'll see you then.
All right.
Bye.
Later, y'all.
Deal.
Can't wait to fight the dragon. Catch you guys later.
Catch you later.